Hello, everyone. I think I can remember what day it is. July 19th today, 2021. And I have an amazing message of the day for you today. And then we have the union read and the twin flame read in front of you. And I'm going to show you the pics and all that. But I'm going to roll the die first, and then we're going to take a couple deep breaths. For the twin flames, we have number 10, which is a turn for the better, high vibration, destiny. We have the 69 of the sign of Cancer, which we're still in Cancer season right now. And we have Pluto, which is deep, profound changes. I don't know what's going on with Pluto right now, but it looks very positive here regarding the family and a turn for the better. Yeah, profound, deep transformation. Oh, sounds great. Let's go ahead and take our deep breaths first. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Another deep breath. One more deep breath. And so it is. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I'm going to first show you the pictures. Whoops. I guess that bell has something more to say. And again, you heard that song just came up. Somebody's ringing the bell. So here we have the union read that came up. This is the Syrian Starseed deck, 40, 5D, 60, with the Divine Feminine on the left, Masculine on the right, the bridge between them in the middle, the incoming Divine Feminine, outgoing Divine Masculine, the underlying energies, and the closing energies. And then here is the main twin flame read for the masculine and the feminine. It is a general read, so don't force every message to fit. If you want something more personalized, my information is below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. Here's the complete 7-deck read that you see in front of you, which is a lot of energy on the table there. Okay. And then here we have the message of the day from the Lenormand Reverie deck, which is really special today. And you'll notice that it starts out with the Power Man over here, and it ends up with the Power Lady over here. So I did want to show you my pictures from this morning too, which I'm going to use one of them for a post. So this one looks like the dark versus the light. This one literally looks like he's cheering him on over here. This guy's cheering him on, and there's another guy over here, and then the light's over here. And then this is the one I'm probably going to use for my post. So is that King Kong, or is that Curious George looking at the birds? You tell me. Okay, let's go. I love that picture. I love Curious George and King Kong. Okay, so the message of the day first. And again, today is the 19th, so what do we have here? 26, 28, 31. So it's 31 today. 31 is the 5 of Wands, which is that energy of conflict potentially, but it's also about games and competition, sports, the pursuit of happiness. But again, it can be a battle if that's what you're going through right now. So okay. Oh, so a lot of energy about Sophia was coming up for me last night. I felt like she was trying to come through the channel last night when I was falling asleep. I didn't fall asleep till almost 6 a.m. this morning. But let's see what's going on here. The message of the day was at 1:43 to 44 today. 1 is the Magician, 43 is the 3 of Cups, and the 44 is the 4 of Cups. So going through the coming together, the reunion energy, into the grounding and integrating and mastering of love, especially allowing yourself to receive. All right, so the message of the day, the underlying energy being the cross to bear, the burden. And actually I was feeling some of that come through this morning. I don't know if it was because of lack of sleep or perhaps something I read might have triggered me a little bit, but there's definitely some emotions still coming up. We're at the end of Cancer, which is very intense emotional things. The first card out was the Angry Man, the Power Man in this deck, because there's two men. There's a loving man and a power man, but he looks angry in this deck. The Power Woman doesn't look angry, but the Power Man does. So it's that energy of he's the Power Man because he's holding anger in that he needs to clear, or has a chip on his shoulder, that kind of energy coming up. So again, the cross, the burden, the angry man of health and growth and family, and the fox at the country or the ranch, or foxtail or fox chase, or the tail end, or no longer sitting under the tree at home. Or is it a cat crossing the street, or a pup with a plan, a letter, a message, a communication, a document, or perhaps behind on a thank you? To the loving lady, or from the loving lady, on a journey to push boundaries, a burned twin bridges with loyal pup, on the other side of the bridges, waiting to play, or for another to lead them to the well before it runs dry, with snake in the apple tree, and two-faced friend, or poison water, or it's time that you can't trust, or with poison well water, or apples, only a matter of time, and whose timeline you're on. A gift from the family and key to your freedom for two wise owls in communication with them of a committed loving nature, and the loving lady and a child or younger sibling you adore, or your inner child on the journey or coming to visit, directed by the mama bear, or as some refer to their spouses as the boss, in a breakthrough on travel or two separate flights, on now always booking one way there and another way back or home. It's confusing and wanting help or someone else to take care of the details of calling him home. Peace, spiritual maturity in bringing up emotions around that, worried you'll forget or won't be able to understand the instructions that never make it easy to follow. 2 and 3 faces, the fun house that's not fun, where you can check out but you can never leave. The poison is not what it seems when looking back at home at 2:14, which is Valentine's Day, at your childhood. Security for time and security are not what they seem, non-linear, in crazy 8 loops, and security always about jumping through hoops instead of quantum jumping in heart. My little brother, Jimmy Jump Jump, falling here and there, out of trees and downstairs. The family a gift of hope and dreams come true, including galactic family and stars of your life, where just when you think you're free, a mountain to climb or a block shows up with a letter or document with wise counsel or a calculated risk, and the loving lady committed to children and wise lovers and cracking the whip with the establishment, or taking child to Disney World or Disneyland, or on vacation, sunshine, happiness, fun, and exposing all. The polar bear pushing direction of the twin bridges with a breakthrough of a public nature, or in the park, or structures of art, connecting with many to clear any confusion and not be led astray with chatter or socializing and feeding the birds and cutting away the extraneous that no longer resonates or serves spiritually after doing the work, or the quote-unquote well work of bringing up the subconscious emotions into the consciousness to release, grounding and anchoring in timelines of the loving man and home, or shackles of the funhouse of illusion and the snake that's out to get you. The loving man at home with time on his hands to discover and examine, to look closer at their dreams and wellness, their abundance of the mountains, and two as one, always a gamble, but if you keep your veins healthy, they'll still flow in and out of the valves, flowing together and then apart and back together until it reaches your heart, with a message from your guides and your higher self to loving lady in the circle of trust with rod and staff, and impatient for union, Deliverance of the nest at the Y in the road, with the golden egg and the sun shining through and looking up. The 5D connection, perhaps visiting a child within, or at school, or checking in, or a hospital visit perhaps, or at camp, or taking a break, a rest, or checking out a college, or a better place for your child. The mama bear always with direction, for the good or for the bad, north or south, exposing all secrets to the book of love. With twin bridges in breakthrough to public commitment 1-to-1, the Paramahamsa of love, with kid gloves, still in Cancer season you see, with puppies and confusion and a maze of socializing and amazing grace, with many birds and pests and petty annoyances. What's eating at you? Perhaps clearing and maturing spiritually and separating the wheat from the chaff, like the snake with their venom and 3 faces with deception. The anchor that's been cut, or was that actually a shackle to begin with? And then good luck, clover, and wishes to be granted, with the power lady watching out for the loving man, feeling each other. Now they only need to travel a bit to anchor that ship or pie in the sky. A ship that's stuck on Mount Everest because the ocean water disappeared or dropped very low suddenly, or somebody had a big purge. Released a lot of built-up fluids, but now needs some lubricant to get unstuck. The ship may have sailed, but it didn't get very far because Mother Nature knows best at any one point in time-space, where all of a sudden a floating boat can become a spaceship with no emotions to ground into. Water is good. It keeps us alive. Don't be afraid of emotions. It's just a matter of balance of water and earth, where the land meets the sea, which can be sandy beaches or rocks or rolling hills, and where the fire and air ignite in a match, balancing thoughtfulness and inspired direction. Now sitting in the waves, or how sitting in the waves makes you feel alive and invigorated. The seagulls across the sun, where the land meets the sea, the perfect place for UME. The ass is the back end of UME in the front, you and me in the front. As Sophia would say, assume nothing, says Colonel Klink, and everything all at the same time. Nothing? What is it, Colonel Klink? Nothing? I know nothing? Okay. So as Sophia would say, assume nothing, per Colonel Klink, and everything all at the same time. She says there is nothing above her, and that she is the flower of life at 317, the Empress and the star. She also said to be kind to animals, her message last night. This read starts with the angry power man from Mars with a chip on his shoulder and a cross to bear, and ends with the power lady who's waiting for her ship to come in, feeling the loving man whose ship got stuck on a big rock, perhaps a deserted isle, until the angry man would let down his guard and allow his emotions to flow smoothly and freely and soften, and hers to harden just a little bit, as to not allow him to get away with his BS at 323, which is the Empress and the 23 of the King of Wands. So there's your message of the day. And now we're going to get right into the union read. Okay, let's see, where are we here? Okay. All right, so the union read. So again, yesterday was the moon and the 4 of Wands, which is the union energy and the family. So today is the 5 of Wands, which is that expansion with the sun of the 19. So much more masculine energy, where it was much more yesterday about the feminine, today is about the masculine. So, excuse me. So the union read was done at 4:44 yesterday afternoon. 444, very angelic realms energy, the union of the 40, 5D, 60 for today, July 19th, where we the underlying energy of the 8 of Swords, the central energy of the 9 of Swords, and then the 8 of Wands at the end. So wondering, all right, why do we have the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords here? But hold on a second. And by the way, as I was shuffling for the union read, the 2 of Cups fell out completely to present itself as the Sun, which is today's energy, was on the bottom of the deck, the underlying energy. So hiding in the woods with eyes closed by the creek and hiding below ground level and covering their eyes. Hide and seek or hide inside, which is what I ended up writing instead of seek. I don't know why Spirit does that sometimes. So I went to write hide and seek and it wrote hide inside. Walking around blindly or counting to 10, you're it, getting warmer, but who's seeking who here? Who's hiding and who's counting, or both holding their breath? Or the Divine Feminine is hiding and the Divine Masculine is perpetually at number 9, never allowing himself at 898 to get to 10. He's avoiding getting to 10. In high vibe, that new cycle, the turn for the better, the destiny, an energetic exchange of the arrows of love, a lot of back and forth, but no one getting caught or tagged or it, or wallflowers too shy to dance. The incoming Divine Feminine is the Ace of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, and Karma. A new breakthrough, diamond light, in a rough patch, but body is naturally pushing the sword out, like your body would push out a stitch that was left behind after a surgery or a wound was sewn up. The body is naturally pushing the sword out of the heart, getting their wish with 5 to 6 rays of light as the lotus opens and only forgiveness needed, released in an offer of a new life, a wish granted, ending karma and forgiveness. But forgiveness was coming up here as the number 4 and giveness. And the number 4, of course, is the Emperor. Survival is number 4. So survival, giveness, as opposed to dream giveness. So only allowing yourself to get what you need to survive, as opposed to allowing yourself to receive what you need for your dreams to come true, right? Not feeling worthy of your dreams, only of survival. 5 of 1 is the Hierophant and the 1 of the Magician. So again, the commitment to magician embodiment to make your dreams come true. The 4D here is the King of Pentacles, which is also Akashic Records, the guidance here, and the 6 of Swords. The Divine Feminine, King of Pentacles, she's the crystal skull here, opening to Akashics, to receive through forgiveness, while the Divine Masculine is diving deep, very curious, as Curious George came up on the tag, and getting good at this kind of play, bridging with guidance, Lemuria and Atlantis, all in the Hall of Records, for which the Divine Feminine has access. The 5D here is the 6 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords in transition, where the Divine Feminine is the 6 of Pentacles, after a painful ending and working independently and letting go of some funds to fix things up or make amends, the shadow side of work, or putting money back into it. The 3 plus 9 equals 12, but minus 4 equals 8, which means more work to be done. Or making 3 at work, but spending 4, and how long will independence last? The downside of freedom, but the upside of being able to set up, or get up and fix it yourself, or needing a lift, perhaps a tuck, too. The Queen of Cups in divide with arrogant man, or self-serving, while she is focusing on the heart, and he on gratification, with a big lie between them. Or the Queen of Cups is divided about being on her own with sudden event, epiphany, but nothing she can't deal with, as the High Priestess is clear and strong, taming the beast, with the King of Wands and looking on, and the King of Swords only focused on one thing, straight ahead in their own lane, while an opportunity of growth projects, inspired, or inspiration and or sex being offered. So by the way here, I actually clarified this one card with the mini deck at this point, which is why you'll hear some cards that you don't see in the picture. And I believe this was about the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. So again, the Queen of Cups in divide with arrogant man or self-serving, and she focusing on the heart, yet he on gratification, with a big lie between them. Or the Queen of Cups divided about being on her own with sudden events or sudden epiphanies, but nothing she can't deal with, as the High Priestess or secret or psychic abilities are clear and strong in taming the beast, with the King of Wands, the man of passion, looking on, and the King of Swords only focused on one thing, straight ahead in his own lane, while the opportunity of growth, projects, and inspiration, and or sex being offered, while rejected or vulnerable or seen as spoiled, the sealed divine feminine or Pisces on vacation or by the sea, exposing all her vulnerabilities to him. Uncommitted, spiritual, and outside the box, with synchronicities and all the options in the world, but no lover to share it with. Very watery female who knows her emotions and are protecting a youngin who's still struggling with self-confidence. Or the Queen of Cups is apart from independent Scorpio, healing from loss, regret, and anxiety, or shame and guilt. And the High Priestess, or with her guidance, or Pisces who's strong, and Leo, King of Wands. Or the King of Wands doesn't have to be Leo, and maybe he's just mastering his ego and very much in his truth and integrity, and still can learn something about their emotions from one offering inspiration and yet peace. 2, away from rejection or a spoiled child, or openly vulnerable and emotion or cries. Pisces with Taurus moon, or divine feminine divorcee, both with synchronicities of the man of passion for intellectual pursuits, but no physical union. She the pentacles and cups, and he the wands and swords. The divine masculine transition portal towards the divine feminine, bridging below ground level, which is below ground level is way grounded, and country or counting to 10. Is it time yet? Like, this is when playing hide and seek. So the divine feminine bridging below ground level and counting to 10. Is it time yet? You know how kids always do, they always yell, are you ready yet? As she now vacillates on giving up her independence. In the 60 here is the higher self, the star in reflection, which is the hermit. The divine feminine higher self in the plasma ethers, and the northern lights in her knowing about the dark side of the moon. It says so right here in Akashics, page 18, at 544, which is the Hierophant and the Four of Cups, granting, integrating, and mastering of love, or perhaps boredom and apathy. The divine masculine reflecting with lantern he made, the wise old guy, a stone pillar and hard to change. The moonlit or the night light, or how about starlight, star bright, bridging their talents, laser light focus and healing, and sound of the spheres, and Sirius rock star, the white dwarf, but we can work with that. Come on over to the other side. He's got a portal from his back door to the stars and back. He'd be glad to show you exactly what he means by that. Miss Mary Mac, in black, with silver buttons down your back, each with a portal of their own, each vertebrae and process. And I know you asked your mother for 50 cents to clean small rooms and more for bigger ones, but here you can get the elephant to jump over the fence so high to reach the sky, 20 and back, on the 4th of July at 5:52. That references abductions of masculines at 5:52, which is the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords. Having something to show you that's not in the Akashics. I dream of Jeannie, and she told me how. If I could just get you to come over to my side. The divine feminine here is the King of Pentacles and Akashics and the crystal skull, and crossbones, or a spine that is, sharing with the higher self and asking for a better understanding. The divine masculine here is the Six of Swords, a swim perhaps with salty cleansing, ready to transition to sow within and reflect some, or retire perhaps. Bridging here with guidance of Buddha and Sphinx in a crater that's actually a ground zero to the stars, and the Liberty altar and ground zero mass or congregation With her rod and his staff, they can accomplish anything. The outgoing divine masculine here is the Three of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. The two cups come together, causing burdens to the left toward the light, leaving the wounded warrior behind with one pullback of the sword, as all the puzzle pieces fall into place in the mosaic. The mosaic means an individual composed of two or more cell lines of different genetic or chromosomal constitution, but from the same zygote or yolk or fertilized egg. And then insemination came up there, which means to reap. It means in seeing my nation, insemination, or in nat connection, or a sovereign state. Insemination in partially sovereign state, or to reap the inseam that's in or at the connection or junction. And seeing my entropy connection, the spirit that's similar to Buddha, the child born at night with wet, moist rain, as an individual, a spirit, deep and not, to take in new information so they can disseminate or to sow and scatter seeds, the mosaic twins reaping their spiritualness in order to share their seeds elsewhere. You came together in joy to start from scratch and leave the wounded warrior and the war widow behind in energetic exchange at the helm of 0 point field of ignition. So this read, we had the Divine Feminine with Aquarius and Pisces on her side, along with the King of Pentacles and Akashic Records. And on the Divine Masculine side was Virgo and Scorpio with the Queen of Swords on his side. Between the Masculine and Feminine was Taurus, Aquarius, and hiding. And by the way, I watched part 2 of Breaking Dawn last night. All right, so the number that came up for this union read overall was number 60, which is all about peace and finding peace, peaceful place to go. And the horizontal pillars came out 16, 15, and 29, which is the Tower, Devil, and 3 of Wands. The vertical pillars came out 9, 9, 6, 9, 6, 3, 10, and 8, which is 2 hermits, the lovers, another hermit, lovers, the Empress, and the wheel and the dance. But the messages came out as the spontaneous, naughty gift of peace, or epiphanies of the shadow and the now moment of peace. As new life lovers of abundance of high vibration dance the peace dance, compassion in an offer of a new life of perfect contentment, purging and destined in the dance of peace or the manifestation of your dreams. So then we have the read in front of you. This is the Twin Flame read. The Syrian Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 727 last night, which is the 7 of the Chariot, the 27 of the Ace of Wands, which is that passion ignited. And at 741, F flames came up. So you can say F flames, or you can say F as the phi energy of expansion and contraction, or coming to the middle of that is reflection. The reflection of the flames, which can be the twins or the drama or the passion, and then S of Sophia came up, but F and S are F and S, the curse words. At 741 is the Chariot and the 41 of self-love, spiritual love, and new love. And then completing the clarifications at 757, which is the Chariot and the 3 of Swords, the separation and the heartbreak, or just the stress in the chest. The major arcana came up here of the moon, of Luna, the karma of judgment, the star seed of the Fool, and solar deity of the sun. Before the read, the star came up, as well as reflection of the hermit and towers. I don't know why I wrote towers, but twin towers, I guess, are coming up. And then the 2 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, the 1 of Pentacles, and 1 wand came up. So 2 cups, 3 swords, 1 pentacle, 1 wand. So mostly swords here. So either getting too much in your head or intellectualizing, perhaps writing, that kind of thing. So we have the only court card is the Page of Swords in this read, along with the 9 of Swords and 9 of Cups, which can be people. And before the read, the Knight of Swords came up. So very swordy with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords, both reversed in this read. And then the numbers that came up here mostly significant was 99, which is all about compassion, endings, and universal selflessness, the collective consciousness. But we also had 22 of the Fool and 88 of the twins dancing side by side in their masculine and feminine. And then 910, begin again and again and again. Keep coming back to the center every time you expand. The 5 of the Hierophant, the 7 of the Chariot, the 25 of the Knight of Wands, the 57 of the 3 of Swords, and the 710 of 0 behind 71, which is the 3 of Pentacles, which for me is the card of co-creation. And in a lesser sense, we also had 28, which is the Twin Flames, the 89 of the Phi energy of reflection, 1, 2, 3 jump, as well as the Hanging Man of 12 and the 23 of the King of Wands, the 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands, and the 56 of the 2 of Swords, the 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the Humble Loyal Servant, and the 78 of the Dream Family, the end of the deck, the 10 of Pentacles, Heaven on Earth, and the Phi and the 910, as I said. So the code line here was all about self-discipline, and the number 7 and 10 came up, which is 17 of the Star. 17. So 17 of Orbs, which is thoughts and words and blind men and orphans. So 17, the stars of hopes and dreams fulfilled and wellness on that path of the saint, or the Sophia 7, the spiritual path, the key to self-discipline, which was coming up as SE and then LF, discipline. So the message coming up here around the egg being so chariot of the divine within the divine feminine within the masculine, the bliss path key, right? The egg is the golden egg that's in your heart. So the feminines, you may have seen a golden egg inside of aqua energy, of like aqua, water at the islands. It was very much that mother energy and birthing that golden egg. The message of the mother's voice, her eyes, her fire, and her tears. So divine feminine within the divine masculine, the vehicle to end pain and create bliss. Sophia's path is key, like the pass key. E sharp came up, or E being sharp, which can be the divine feminine being sharp. It's also about expansion and the Elohim, a very high vibration with that sharp energy. But the E being sharp, perhaps cutting something off with 07 or 007 or oxygen 02, with the chariot to end pain and create the bliss path. Sophia key to self-discipline. The low frequency zither, the husband to be. The law, the flower, the dog, and his son, father, or uncle, to die, or 100. Sweden, cloud, water, to understand or visualize each other, oneself, one. Or already without ES, or without God or the sky or an exit plan. The cells ready to ingest, but without some. Or in other words, being prepared, but never actually eating the food. And then antiretroviral came up, where retroviral is inserting the RNA into a host where it then changes their DNA. But so the anti is taking away from that. But remember, an antiretroviral is also the same thing as a virus, which then takes away the protection from your computer. Okay? So it depends on the perspective of how you see each thing. But already without ES, or without the rise, the I, the ego, or to be, and that came out as already without God or exit plan, without being, without kisses and hugs, without a shoulder to cry on, or ashes in the fireplace, without ego or rise, or acing E flat as opposed to E sharp, open land or the child, ice, an oyster, a weasel, the ego, the I, the stubborn ox, without enough food or having enough food, instead of eating it, just preparing for it to make sure you have enough until death, all ready to ingest without ever eating or living. Anti-retroviral, to go viral and then go back to turn against what you started. I didn't start it. God, thy will is hard. but you hold every card. I will drink your cup of poison, nail me to your cross and break me, bleed me, beat me, kill me, take me now, before I change my mind. So of course that's from Gethsemane, from Jesus Christ Superstar. And you notice Gethsemane has semine in it, inseminate. I only want to say, the chariot, the seven, the Eve within, S and N, Sophia and Christ, or serial and number that's up. The divine feminine within the divine masculine, the SN, Saturday night, screen name, social network, shared nothing, and supernova, syntagma, nominal, nuclear-powered submarine, only to become neutron stars type 2 or debris type 1. A superpower to prevent lesser powers to be used, like a computer virus in a negative sense, or the atom bomb, pure defense. The divine feminine within the divine masculine to diffuse the situation, to calm the powers that be, not to cause an explosion you could never return from. Don't underestimate the power of the nothingness. She brought you into this world and has the power to take you out. She already knows you inside and out. The pain in the ass, or the ass without pain, ending pain and suffering, or just pure bliss. The path of the path of the Sophia, the key in self-discipline, or releasing and rising, southeast and to the left. Discipline of self, each other in left field. No one ever anticipates the left hook coming, or the double-handed backhand of power, the lefty, right in mind, and disciple of self and alignment. And that was at 10:01 to 2, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, and a turn for the better, and destiny of the 1 and 2, which is the Magician and the High Priestess. So then we have the read in front of you, the twin flame read, where Luna, or the moon, or Cancer season now, is the underlying energy. And beneath that energy here, where here is Luna, and the mini cards on top, 5 cards down and 5 cards out at the end here to make it a 21 card read, which is complete with the world. Beneath the moon is, from the bottom up, star and reflection, the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords all reversed, and then underneath the moon is the Tower upright, igniting the moon with depression or losing their mind or coming out overworked, not working out, holding your tongue or lashing out, verbal abuse or freaking out suddenly at night, or Aquarius reversed and Virgo reversed, and Scorpio and Cancer both upright, or Aquarius freaking out at Cancer upright, who's howling or watching Breaking Dawn. The truth presented or victory with their head, keeping energy clear and to self to avoid attention. Holding back, poor judgment, or choked and spoke too soon, needing to swallow their pride. The King of Wands is upright with a message of love for performer or juggler, or the Page of Cups child trying to get to the King of Wands or get them to look at their performance or presentation. But he's too busy looking back at his crown or having been dethroned. And the Aquarius reversed is not in the right, but the King of Wands ego is getting the best of him. But if he looks forward at 10:10, if he looks forward, and then at 10:12, which is the turn for the better of the Hangman, if he looks forward, there's still a message of love that he can dance with, that's over the Aquarius's head, hanging out, the 9 of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, them fighting words to the Page of Pentacles upright younger student that they see as naive, or with heaven in their eyes, about heartbreak and separation and being satisfied with self, getting their way with rumors or negative talk or lies, and spying about uncomfortable emotions due to not leaving the Cancer behind. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, but still something missing. It doesn't add up. The mystery to be solved, a lie perhaps, or immaturity, negative self-talk, or bipolar, needing the monkey in the middle, the wizard on vacation, or at the Louvre, or perhaps taking over, without shirt and tie, or all set to retire, with favorite French bench, too much food and drink, perhaps pleasantly plump, and dealing with sterilization practices, blue drawn curtains and injections and testing, not at the ranch or country house, not at the mountains, and lying to self about what's supposed to make you happy, needing to take walks at night to get out of the house, the King of Pentacles checking in at work or on kids or those out in the cold to make sure the Page of Pentacles is doing what they're supposed to be doing, or stuck with clients or patients while the Page of Pentacles doesn't have to work, or working in the country or at camp and having fun, or how fun, the Divine Masculine may be saying, or after work researching with the Page of Pentacles, or received an invite but had to work overtime, or they did, and now know that you have time, or now that you now have time for them, they no longer have time for you, because now your kids are working or busy, or both out in the cold together, perhaps two who both have to work and love it, or love to study the gold coin together. So finding something in common. Codependency comes up here, and beneath that, this could be the one. Or checking in to see if other businesses are losing money, or how younger ones or newer businesses are holding up. At 1031, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and again the conflict energy of the Five of Wands today, or is that the pursuit of happiness, or games being played, in need of peace in relationship, where the Two of Cups is upright, but the Knight of Pentacles is reversed and resistant, and the Queen of Swords is in the right, hurt by her reflection, the Knight of Wands reversed player, or perhaps played or paralyzed by their passions, in need of peace between the Queen of Swords upright and the Knight of Wands reversed, or the Queen of Swords and her reflection, the war hero and the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed, unable to function, her in work and he in passion. Fires of the past. Fires past the point of no return. Tired of someone tiptoeing around the issue at hand. Fires out of hand and no rescue attempts, yet two in love. So self-love comes up here with number 61, which is taking a risk to self-love, and beneath that spiritual career of 78, which is that dream family underneath the self-love, the support of the family. Not sharing, frustrated, or a lack of inspiration. The Knight of Swords holding back or lashing out in need of a decision, or two, the Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords, both reversed here, may not be sharing equally and needing to swallow their pride, with the Page of Pentacles, younger one, doing a good job, sharing nicely with others, and cleaning up the act or space even when it's not their mess, or with someone very different from them and coming clean about frog legs and peacock feathers or peacock eyes, trees or the trees have eyes, or two who grew up together and reunite and getting readjusted to each other, looking very different now, or injured somehow, or some kind of injury to the face. Coming clean about risky business at night, or with cancer and uncomfortable energies and emotions, overworking or unable to work at all, with codependencies and in need of peaceful place to go to self-love. The underlying energy here is the Queen of Wands complete, or with the world, or Pisces throwing themselves their way, while the wounded warrior with synchronicities, or seeing things, or dreaming of what used to be, going forward after this read was the energy of guilt and shame, overwhelm, as the King of Swords, Hierophant, or marriage, with their world upside down or incomplete, or Taurus, upright and Pisces reversed, or Divine Feminine in the 5D, implementing a plan to get Scrooge to let go or open up, defenseless to the Queen of Pentacles, released and being strong at 1124, Justice and the Queen of Wands. In the recent past is karma reversed, where karma is over, an end of pain, connecting it with the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands, uncomfortable and impatient with the King of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, who are all upright here, and the injustice of the energetic exchange exposed, and meeting to swallow their pride to end the pain and come together face to face. The Queen of Cups with Libra in chart, and the King of Cups with Sagittarius in their chart, and the Queen of Wands uncomfortable between them, along with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community. Or Aquarius is reversed and Leo is upright, or that could be the kids, are getting back together with the Queen of Cups and Queen of Wands, but not the King of Cups. The foundation here is the Five of Pentacles upright, out in the cold, dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities, and lashing out at the Emperor reversed, or asking him to keep his secret. The King of Swords he's released, he thinks, inspired with hope of what could be at 11:37, which is justice and the King of Cups. The central energy here is the Seven of Cups upright, taking steps, fallen angels of death and war, an energetic exchange with the devil himself, stealing from the King of Cups behind his back, or has a minion doing that for them. Scorpio or Dark Knight, an energetic exchange back and forth with Capricorn, temptation, who's waving. The King of Wands, man of passion, untouched, where others have fallen and died, and others lying, cheating, and stealing to get by, keeping options open and seeing synchronicities, spiraling up or climbing the ladder of hopes and dreams at 11:45, which is my time of birth. 11 is justice and 45 is the Five of Cups, which has to do with grieving, loss, and regret, and then letting go of all of that. The challenge being here, the Ten of Swords, betrayal, the painful end or ending pain by confession or dumping Atlas, weight, responsibilities after the whole truth was presented, or the war was won, and getting back to balanced sharing again. At 11:48, which is justice and the Eight of Cups, walking away and within, being strong and saving, holding on with issues at work, dependent or powerless, or lots of money going out, or losing your single status with the Ten of Cups, happy family, or ending in need of peace or vacation here. The King of Cups is upright, presenting the harsh truth to the Queen of Cups upright, who's sharing their concerns or depression, or drinks with him about over isolation, the hermit losing their mind, or coming out about a fantasy and losing patience or temper, or fallen angel driving and fell asleep at the wheel, needing to heal but unstable or needs to be moved. And now crowning is the starseed upright with a big download, suffering in silence with sudden events and or epiphanies with the divine feminine in the 5D, or upside down world and separation, or heartbroken with the Queen of Cups upright and the King of Pentacles upright, coming clean in separation. The injustice of the Six of Cups kids or soulmates, and Scorpio upright and Aries upright with Pisces and Libra both reversed here. So there's a fresh start, a leap of faith, with the King of Cups surprising the Queen of Pentacles unaware of his approach, grounding and integrating, perhaps bored at night, and overwhelmed or dumped, or Cancer purging or sweating it out, or crying and then right back to being grounded and stable Queen of Pentacles, refusing to give it up, perhaps some information. The Knight of Cups Cancer getting their way, getting over loss and regret and keeping it all to themselves, or with aid, nurse, or psychic abilities. Cancer and Pisces getting over each other, or warrior and religious woman, boldly moving or not moving at all. No big love at work here, or if there is, it's third party secret keeper. And the King of Wands affectionate with sunshine or on vacation. The Knight of Wands reversed frustrated, or player playing them to free themselves from having to make plans or implement them. The Page of Cups is upright, having trouble expressing their feelings on vacation or in the sun, with the King of Wands falling short in the passion department to free themselves from sleeping with stubborn bull, or one who won't move, or resists, or freezes up, unable to function. And the Knight of Wands reversed, paralyzed by their passions. Lovers stimulated and underestimated, one lazy and one unable to be still. The King of Wands exposing a message of love to or from twin, as the King of Wands with Sagittarius and Page of Cups, perhaps Leo or Cancer, in a 5D connection, depressed at visit or in need of hope about a moving or regaining a stable environment. Soon as the Page of Swords reversed, perhaps immature communication or a child, being arrogant about making magic at work, but with issues, satisfied while the wounded warrior is hurt and defensive, destined with bad news, with the Empress reversed, conflicted or in a losing battle with home or a move, holding back an announcement to those left out, or low on funds due to illness or injury, or exile perhaps. At 12:14, which is the Hangman and the Temperance card of the angels and a higher love, the twin flames are seeing themselves as the Nine of Swords upright, purging and suffering in silence, or stressed out, not sleeping, or sharing and settling out, defenseless, or without an excuse, coming together with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, to pick out what they want, or to go shopping together, or explaining synchronicities and the confusion about a breakup or lack of affection, from the Page of Swords reversed, who could be Aquarius reversed here, or a very immature ex, child, or rumors of depression or arrogance. New love comes up here, and true love for the twins, along with passion and wedding that the situation involves marriage. Coming together or falling apart, happy one minute and depressed the next, or the night before a wedding where they are kept apart for a fortnight, or 7 to 10 months, or perhaps 7 to 10 years, with cold feet, breaking dawn, vampirish coolness, as around the twins or how they're seen is solar deity upright, sunshine, energy, fun, and or full exposure to heartbreak or separation, stress, and presented with a choice to come out about a marriage, a religion, an establishment, or the Hermit reversed, hiding behind a marriage, or Taurus upright, and Lion heart broken, or Taurus with Virgo in chart exposes twin separation, and the block here being the Nine of Cups, getting their wish, looking back at the kids or pets or Leo or their ego, Sun in the fun and playing ball, saving for a new life, and Mark, and perhaps I'm not sure what I wrote there. Saving for a new life, and I'm getting a market for money, or married for money. I don't know why that's coming up. That's coming up for somebody. I'm getting the Mare here too. Married for money, the Mare's coming up. The market of money, or saving for a new life. Again, okay, so we have self-discipline here, but even more so love, partnership, and follow your dreams for the twins. Together but distant, apart yet close, dumped, overwhelmed, no second prize to anyone. The twin flames unable to express happiness of taking the show on the road, and the 5D connection to heal and visit, to hang out, rejected and moody, but also with good news and ready to lead on journey. The twin flames released and floating on air, implementing a plan to be free and yet be in 5D connection at the same time, and not work also at the same time. Truth always just below the surface of the ship and beacon in the storm, sharing or settling out the Queen of Swords and defensive end, the Five of Swords wise guy with plenty of excuses and ammunition. No match for Lady Liberty. Her sword of truth is much bigger than his of war. Hers of patience and his of impatience, but working it out to make it more balanced. Luna or night and the full moon of 7:23, the buck moon at 10:37 Eastern Standard Time, p.m., purging release to expose all, or day in the sun, holding back an announcement to take steps, to see the beauty and rise, to go upstairs for a while, or synchronicities and heaven in her eyes. The challenge being ending the pain with the Page of Swords reversed, who could be a pain, and insisting on getting their way, with a big download or a fresh start for the twin flames who are released and floating in the sea of love, and then storms come in to balance the energies at 1240, which is the Hangman and the Page of Cups, that very innocent and special love. Overworked, suddenly freaked out, Aquarius reversed, Virgo reversed, or depressed and losing their mind at night, or with Cancer, holding back an announcement or bad decision to come clean or to clean up, where two are out in the cold at night, taking steps to a fresh start, challenged by ending pain or betrayal, suffering in silence or purging and stressed, the Page of Swords reversed with bad news, or just really immature communication or gossip, and fully exposed, and so getting their wish of twin flames in a fresh new start, released from their knowing and keeping to themselves, with the truth always there in the broken heart, sharing and recalibrating, a balancing act that's always ongoing between the warrior and the war widow, and what were they fighting for in the first place, and no one actually knows anymore. Okay? So again, this is all about Sophia. And by the way, when Sophia was trying to come through last night also, she was showing herself as like a bear lion image, like that mother polar bear, but also the lion at the same time with her cubs. Very interesting, the energy that was coming up. And she was actually pushing through to really support the animals right now. And again, my mother was so into animals. She liked animals much more than people, and I'm like scheduling her celebration of life right now. I just actually posted some pictures with all her favorite animals online, so that's coming in as a synchronicity with this as well. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you guys. All right, so from the Spirit Animal deck, let's see what comes up regarding the read. Take a deep breath. And again, we're dealing with Pluto, the number 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, and a turn for the better, but it's also October, which is Libra to Scorpio. And we also have the Cancer season of the sign of Cancer, which also is the number of 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which is that offer of a brand new life of perfect contentment. All right, let's see what the animal spirits say today. All right, so what is the message for the twin flames today from the animal spirit deck? The dragonfly, and I love that because you know how the dragonfly mates. I'm going to turn the light on here for you. The dragonfly mates by flying in the air, attached to each other like a 4-inch stick, and then they collapse onto a plant in a heart shape, and that pulsates. It's beautiful if you've never seen it. I saw it for the first time when I was in France. I was so excited. I was like a little kid running around with butterflies everywhere. It was so beautiful. Okay, so also we have the energy of a big upside down triangle here, which is the masculine energy of air. But it's interesting because the triangle up top, showing the section that they're in, is, I'm sorry, this isn't air. This is the feminine energy of, no it's not, it's the masculine. I'm getting confused. No, it's the feminine. So this is the feminine water. This is the masculine. Why is it upright? I'm getting confused. All right, so the fire is the triangle with no line. The air is the triangle with the line. That's masculine energy. Yeah, so the air. But this is the feminine water. So they're both coming up here, air and water. And actually where I saw the dragonfly mating was right at the edge of the water, at this big great lake between two mountains where the grass met the water. There's no beach there, it was just like a lake. But it was right there where at the shoreline where the water met the grass. That's where I saw them mating. Aye, matey is coming up again. And again, where land meets sea on the beach, where the twin flames meet. That's the energy that's coming through. We have the stingray here and the snake as well. And you see all the rainbow colors are coming through here, along with the lamb. Wow. The lamb and the unicorn are coming up next. That's it. I'll show you the underlying energies too. So again, all of the energies are being lit up right? So we had the snake with all of the rainbow bridge, and the colors of the snake now have gone into the collective because it's sealed. And here's the stingray activating your chakra system, your kundalini, and again, your cord to each other, but also your cord to the earth, the cord to your higher self, which is your other. But there are different connections, right? There's like you have a connection with your twin upward, but you also have it from your heart directly. So there are different cords there of attachment. Again, this is like all fully activated, like the magician embodiment to the hilt. And I love it too because it's showing you the circle and the square, right? And remember that the square is two triangles, so the triangle is always there. But again, the masculine is the triangle of change and alchemy, and the feminine is what shapes things, the circle. But this is also the circle of the human embodiment of source and the square of the diamond light. So this is like where all the power is on board of the dragonfly. I love how they're coming up together. The cards are really beautiful. And then these two guys, which is profound, right? Because this is the lamb of the meek inheriting the earth, right? Which may have a mark on their head, but they're fully protected, they're sealed. And here is then the unicorn of the third eye. And you see in the background is the earth, fully illuminated with the rainbow bridge again. All right, so this is confirming the rainbow bridge is now sealed and has gone into the collective, and they are awakening now. So this is where the meek inherit the earth because they need to be ready for all of the collective, rising, and then you rising to the occasion with your third eye and, knowing what is needed between the lamb. And this is also representing the masculine and the feminine, right? The sweet masculine and the third eye feminine here. So we have the dragonfly over here. Again, was the first one out, but look at it along with the stingray. And this is the blue rays. That's why it's coming up first alone. And then we have the collective there. And this is also representing, again, the masculine and the feminine, the masculine and the feminine. Okay? It came up the same way. Fully activated. So for the masculine, his kundalini spine's being activated, and for the feminine, she's already been activating the rainbow bridge around the world, which is now sealed in order for the collective to awaken. And now that includes the divine masculine, whose spine is fully activated now. And there's the meek who inherit the earth of the sweet masculine, and then the unicorn of the divine feminine here. So very much both in their feminine energies here. Really beautiful. I love this message today. And I have to show you what's on the bottom of the deck, which is the frog, right, being rained on because they want to become the prince. But they're still in Cancer season, but it's lifting. The fog is lifting. The fog for the frog is lifting as we go into Leo season after having dealt with this, being ganged up on. The poor little froggy. Okay. So the first card out was the dragonfly, so I have to read you that, which is air. All right, dragonfly, master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. I was just getting in awe as well. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still, dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. So again, like I said, I had some yucky energies coming up for me this morning and a little bit yesterday too. So it's really this Cancer season, and remember, that's not the reality of it. Just go with your feelings, allow yourself to purge, because you're purging not just for yourself, remember, but for the collective and the masculine as well. So the dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, it sees clearly, is joyful and magical. But when it's out of balance, it can't concentrate. It's got a busy mind. To bring back into balance, focus on the breath. And as Sam, the illusionist, always says, focus on the tongue. That came through in one of his messages. To help you meditate better, focus on the tongue. Let's see here. All right. So now from the journey of love, what is our message here? So the frog that's becomes the prince is coming out of the rain of Cancer season after feeling ganged up on here. And that could be through the heart, right? Maybe feeling the divine feminine being mad at him. You know, like the crocodile, like wanting to wanting to get him, like totally turn the other direction. So if the feminine's felt upset with the masculine, he may be feeling that and feeling out in the cold and ganged up on. But becoming the prince as we come out of Cancer season into Leo, which then shining their light, as the dragonfly comes out, and the need to focus on your breath, as the divine masculine. And you notice the lines are very similar. This is the masculine side, is very similar energies. Look at the diamond energy of the masculine, very similar to the dragonfly, which wants to show you the triangle inside the diamond, because there's always two triangles in a diamond, the masculine and the feminine. And then the feminine side, much different energy, right? Because she's already gone through that. And there's the circle of shaping the world and using the third eye energy. And again, the rainbow bridge having infused itself into the collective with the third eye, keeping an eye on it. It's like the feminine, there's all different levels of divine feminines and what their missions are, but they're overall, you know, looking out for the world at this point, like the grid keepers, the seal, because they're sealed. So sealing the deal, it's sealed. You notice too, there's still a lot of that dark energy is hanging out outside of the planet and outside of the divine feminine, but she has taken on her second skin, that toughening up of the divine feminine's emotions. She can handle that, right? The feminine who births children and has periods every month all of her life, and now has gone through dark night of the soul, in order to toughen her up a little bit more, so the masculine can't get away with feeling sorry for themselves, right? And then here we have the divine masculine who's not dealing with all of that negative energy. It's like the feminine is holding the negative energy away from the masculine so that he can fully awaken here. It's very interesting there. Okay, so from the Journey of Love, what is the last message here for this read? All right, there's a bunch of cards that just came out. The bottom of the deck is Angel of Jupiter Awakening, the Six of the Lovers. And this is, I don't know if you can see it but clearly, but there's actually two images here floating side by side, and the message came up recently of the longer you travel together side by side in your own lane, the more you then become one lane, right? With just some space between. That's the power of the Shokare, bringing the power in by traveling together long distances. The Six of Jupiter, Angel of Jupiter Awakening, and beneath that is dropping into your heart of the 68 and the Page of Pentacles, which was the star of the read today, right? The one who's a good student and does what they need to do, even if it's not their fault. Just, you know, instead of fighting fire with fire, fighting fire with love. And just, it's okay. They'll take care of it. So dropping into your heart, again, the Shokare energy of the feminine here, the Shokare of coming into your heart. And you notice they're in opposite directions. Or are they? No, they're same direction. But again, that energy of I just noticed it's the energy of it's not clockwise, it's counterclockwise, which you want to go clockwise, right? Because the Shokare is clockwise. So it's kind of interesting that's coming. I just noticed that these are both counterclockwise, counterintuitive. But drop into your heart regarding the lovers. So it may be counterintuitive at this time. So it's again, don't trust what you see, trust what you feel. Don't put the power in your head. Drop into your heart. All right, so the cards that came out from this deck are number one, again, the blood hands came out yesterday too, which is the dance of the heart. And I talked about the veins pumping the blood back up to the heart here, and the arteries pumping it to the rest of the body. You always have to come back to the heart and then go away from the heart again. When your heart fills up with the light, like going out in the sun and collecting the energy for you and the Divine Masculine, and then when that light energy is used up, it's the same with the blood. It pumps out through the arteries, right, depleting the heart, and then the blood comes back to the heart to then pump out again. It's like the filling up station of the blood dance. The blood dance, the dance never stops. It's continuous with the Two of Cups, the 42. And then we have these three cards that came out together. The yin-yang lover of the 8 of the dance again, and her bending over backwards. And then here's the heart of the moment of the 16 and the tower events. And you notice that we had 42, which is the 2 of Cups, times the 8 is 16, which is the tower, the sudden events, the epiphanies, the sexual connection of sex. And then here's heaven on earth. And look at the red and blue, how it comes together here. But the blue is light blue here. The throat chakra and the root chakra coming together here. But it's the heart of the moment, the 16 of the sudden epiphanies. It's the sexual energy between the masculine and the feminine. And the feminine doing all sorts of bending over backwards, right, to get into the vortex and hold space. She's literally she's lining the vortex so that the cyclone doesn't get into the vortex space even, right? And she's actually making a green room here with a wave, like a surfing wave. She's making her own green room here, not even counting on the fact that the vortex is still and pure. She's like making double sure that it's a safe place here when it comes to the heart. In the now moment, when it comes down to that now moment, it's like she wants to be perfect. She's bending over backwards to make sure that vortex, that space, is perfect, both dark and light, right? Clearing the dark and the light, balancing them, the balancing act of the yin-yang lover of the dance between the masculine and feminine in the heart of the moment, the now moment of the root chakra coming up to the heart, where your safety and stability then becomes one with your heart. And then the truth comes out of heaven on earth, the 70 of the 2 of Pentacles, which is the juggling act, the one who wanting to perform for all, right? Because this is the best show on earth, right? All the world's a stage. I'm getting like they're all taking bows. They're all looking towards the event, and here they're all taking bows. They're coming up to the edge of the stage to say, thank you. Thank you for your appreciation. And these are all in couples here. And the spotlight is now on them. It's on the twins. In the triangle here, right? That becomes that diamond down here. This is just like that stingray here. This shape right here is the stingray, with triple circles up here. And this is also the eye, right, with the pupil. And there's a lot, this is the portal, the breakthrough here of the light now shining on the twins. Bringing heaven on earth into reality here. Right, so it's very much, the root chakra and the throat chakra are really powerful right here in the blood dance. And again, the dance of the 8 and the 2, right? The 42 is the 2 of Cups. It's all about the twins, where the Divine Feminine's been bending over backwards to hold space, and now they're taking a bow. And what's Madonna's song? Something, and Spirit's connecting with me. Something, take a bow. The song is over. Say goodbye. The song is over. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. And then we have heaven on earth. So it's like the end of the show. They're all taking a bow, and then it's like the after party where all these couples are dancing, and the spotlight's on all of them in heaven on earth. It's really a beautiful read. All right, the blood dance. I have to read that to you. That's number 42, the 2 of Cups. And I told you the 2 of Cups fell out of the Union Shuffle. Okay. Oh, that's weird. I'd written this, when I first started using this book, I used to write the dates that I would end up personally on this page. And I wrote my dad's name down on this page, the blood dance, the 2 of Cups for my dad. My mom and dad, actually, my father's soul number was 42, my mother's soul number was 24. So they were the exact reflection of soul numbers. They were both Gemini and 7 days, 7 years apart, so very twinny there. The heart craves life and the blood responds. In relationship to each other, life happens. The desire and the action, the movement of cycles, drawing in and letting go, rushing to the center and pushing far away to the extremities. It's the cycle of relationship, dancing between self and other, into oneness and into individuality. So it is with human beings in relationship with each other, and with human beings and the divine essence. Sometimes the heart of God feels so close, it's though our own inner passion is the very blood rushing through it. And then we journey far, bringing our nourishment to where it's needed, to those who are cold and lonely, to the farthest reaches of our own dark self, that we may, if very brave, dare to love completely. Though we can be lonely for the warmth of the center at that time, craving that feeling of being at home, soon enough we are called back to the core of the divine heart, and the cycle continues. Remember that you're always in this dance of life. You are never apart from the divine. It is just that sometimes, in our natural flow, it's easier to feel that divine presence than other times, yet you're always the blood connected to the heart. This oracle brings you confirmation that you're connected to the divine source, to all that is. If you're experiencing a phase of feeling cut off from yourself, from your body, from another, or from the divine, even from your own feelings, spiritual connection or intuition, be reassured that this is temporary and a part of the cycle of life itself. Soon all connection shall return with even greater warmth and nourishment, welcoming you home again with great love. If you feel you've been journeying in life and fear that you have lost your way, do not trouble yourself, precious soul. You are never far from the divine heart and will always be called home. Love's language speaks like sound of falling leaves, caressing wind to bear aroma sweet. You ask if I can love and measure true, and give emotions weight the scales do. Each tear releases more than words can say, expressing all my heart wants to convey. And the next page is the bride offers herself. All right, that was a really beautiful read. Okay. So, make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, and get your nature. Do what your own guidance tells you to do. And rise and be love. It's all up to you. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.